What was going to be a quick 2-0 has now turned into a 3-game affair as BLG pull one out of the hat, find another miracle for themselves, and I've just seen the life move out of Rusty's eyes. It's just disappeared in that one play where it's like, LGD, they've done it. They're making a lot of improvements, and then they haven't done it anymore.
We just praised them, you know. We sat there for the first 20 minutes of that game, and we're like, this is the best LGD. They don't get excited, but get excited, and then, you know, don't get excited became more true than anything else. Would you believe it? LGD have come full circle to exactly what we know them for.
I feel
but it still
responsible.
hurts, man.
I feel responsible.
It's never fun.
I mean, to all the LGD fans out there, I am sorry. This was my fault. I will take this one for LGD. Yeah, I cursed them. Sorry.
And to all of you that are watching for the first time, this is not the LPL at its finest. Don't you worry. This is 6 vs 7. This is not meant to be the best of the best. But these teams should be better than they currently are. I will say that much.
What gets me angry is they are BLG Demacia finals. They started Summer Split so strong. Yes, LGD shaky at the start, but with the changes they've been making, they've been having so many great, brilliant moments. I mean, start of game 1 and the end of game 1, fantastic. Start of game 2, beautiful. We couldn't praise them even more. What the hell happened in the mid-game?
A lot. Really not a lot. There was a lot of looks at the Baron. They were staring at it angrily. Baron probably snarled at them and they ran away screaming to find BLG.
Baron's a big boy.
Yeah. There comes a time.
It's like when you play, if you play rugby in grade 12 and you just see one guy in the other team and like, oh no, I'm not tackling him.
I called that just going to school on the Gold Coast because everyone that played football was a Kiwi. And I was small, and it was petrifying.
Well, that was LGD against Baron for you, Rusty. They just looked at Baron and said, yeah, we'll run circles.
I swear to God, Islanders are christened at 6, man. Like, love them all, love the culture, but they are some big boys.
Genetic lottery, Rusty.
Yeah.
We missed out. We're just two small Australian people. I mean, you haven't been going to the gym too much. What's going on?
I have so. Making things up. I went to yoga. That ruined me for at least 3 days.
We both went. You both went to yoga. How'd that experience go?
That was an hour of core workout of yoga. Let me tell you, I feel worse than LGD should after that game.
I think I saw Pulse perform a belly flop. That was not into a ball. Just he stood up. The instructor said, "All right, we're gonna do this next," and I just saw Pulse fall. He was
back on the floor.
Smack onto the floor, kind of like what happened to LGD at the end of that last match. So let's see what they change going into this game.
Let's set a couple of things that need to be expected here into the third game that aren't actually there right now, right? So, like, Aurelia could be banned, but LGD were too confident into it, right? So they might not get rid of that one. Zoe, I still think could be a considered option in the ban list, not to be seen this time.
Also not banned.
They've chosen Aatrox, Talia, and Lucian BLG, but they have swapped to the red side, so some things have changed here. They've given over the Nocturne, however, the result of their bans. Talia was not seen in the second game, not picked or banned.
That means Zoe can be picked up by BLG. They can even sorry IRL if they want to flex one of them into a different lane. But I've got a question, Rusty. Why are they banning Rek'Sai? What did Rek'Sai do in that match that made LGD so afraid of Chieftain? They're so afraid, so scared.
Do you want a like a real
answer? Yes. Why?
I don't know. I mean, not a lot. He sniped out Mole once. He tracks like Rek'Sai as a champion. Maybe what LGD is scared of, not Chieftain's performance on the pick. If we actually break down, you know, where did LGD break down? It was at the Baron. Rek'Sai is really good at working with information when he doesn't have vision. So perhaps that's what they're looking at. LGD said we're a better team, so let's just get rid of all of your tools. Hopefully that's the decision they were making here. They did get Nocturne in this match, however. One's banned out for most of the series. Amy will get his hands on a new champion. Irelia shot to follow in the pick list. With Swain coming through, so we should expect a very similar bruiser-heavy composition. Yeah, I think BLG may even consider the Pyke. Actually, no, they shouldn't. This is a risky pick now. The bottom lane of LGD, whatever it is, Fiddlesticks is what I would expect from them. Will be aggressive or want to take down their opponents with a Nocturne ultimate at 6. That's a sick combo with a Swain already there. if you have the CC duo in the bottom lane. So Rakan Fiddlesticks is what I would expect from BLG's bans if they're actually respecting the bottom lane 2v2. But we'll see.
Still waiting to see what those bans will be, you're right. Gangplank hits the bench. Okay.
That's right on target.
That's the Fiddlesticks we wanted to be taken.
Exactly what I expected. I said Gangplank.
You're a prophet, Rusty.
Never doubted them.
You're a prophet.
And of course, the next one that I said was absolutely their next ban, and I'm not even going to say out loud till they ban it.
It almost feels like the shoe's on the other foot with how the first 3 picks have gone. Zoe being picked up by BLG this time, or will get his hands on the champion. Whereas LGD have all the bruisers to start this match. So, just for big sides. Lots of pick potential from BLG. Lots of skirmish and brawl potential coming out from LGD.
Yeah, so the risk here, first and foremost, is that whilst BLG have taken the Zoe away from their opponents, which is a good pick for Mole, they've given Yuki his Aurelia. They've given him the champion that he's got an 11 KDA on, 11 plus KDA on.
They also banned out the other Fiddlesticks of Darius.
That's the one. Knew it all along. I'm a genius.
Really targeting PYL's champion pool here, making sure that he's locked down, doesn't have anything to pick. Dr. Mundo being taken away by LGD. Amazing J had a good performance on the champion. Amazing J is playing well. I don't think I can really criticize his performance from BLG so far.
It's just the target of all of the attention of LGD. You know, like, he survived it. He's done decently well considering that fact. That's Amazing J's life. He just gets attacked by people. This is unsurprising from BLG. The Kaiser makes sense. The Morgana was already there, and they've banned away a lot of top laners, and they're against the bruisers. So the idea here from BLG, continue to outscale, get to that late game against your opponents where you're just going to deal too much damage, and there's nothing they can do to stop you.
GNGL didn't have the worst of games either. Yes, early game for BLG didn't look good at all in either of the 2 games they've played so far, but he sat back, he knew that he could scale into the late game and did so successfully.
Surprising.
Oh look, hey! There's the Fiddlesticks they banned out twice. That's a competitive ruling. No.
I think it's because they're confident with the Morgana lock-in. You know, they're happy to say whatever you pick against us. Now, if I was LGD, I actually probably would have went for the Rakan. I think that's a better combo with the Swain, especially with the Nocturne ganking down there. But Fiddlesticks innately just has a lot of lane control, so maybe the Nocturne doesn't go there. Because that's locked in already. Jinu's gone for the carry.
Yeah, right, Benji, get on broadcast because Jace gets locked in for LGD. That's going to be going into the top lane with Swain as the bottom lane pick, Aurelia into the mid lane. Final pick for BLG. Amazing J knows what he's up against now. Can pick accordingly. First pick, Rusty.
Yeah, sign an option.
Second pick, sorry.
On banned, Singed banned, Mundo banned, Darius banned, and the Gangplank banned. Would you believe it? He still has tanks up his sleeve. Amazing J
it's a Poppy!
Pretty much everything. And he's got the Poppy this time around. He's gone for the disengage. Poppy into Fiddlesticks and Nocturne is pretty funny. You can just hit them away once they try and go forwards onto you. Same thing with Aurelia. Usually you would see the Poppy into the Darius matchup that they banned away though. And the Darius can't actually get the resets off. And if he gets one reset, you can't follow it through. And he's he's a lumbering, slow champion that's mobility is just running fast. So Poppy can always hit that one. Whereas these champs have got spell shields and some mobility there.
Yep.
It'll be harder to do.
We've seen a few teams actually punish Fiddlesticks at the bottom lane for the lack of tankiness that he has down there, targeting the support more often than not. It's been a mixed bag of success depending on which team you are. But they didn't ban it, they let them pick it up. BLG had a couple of tanks up their sleeves. Poppy's one of them. Amazing J's still very happy. There's a couple of fans in the audience that are currently cosplaying him. And if you don't know what I mean, Amazing J recently did a maid cosplay, I believe it was.
It was a maid. He showed way too much of himself in that, but he enjoyed every second of it.
Oh yes, he did.
Seen it on the LPL broadcast here and there in between breaks or pre-show.
He had a fantastic stream. He was loving it. I mean, Bilibili, we talked about it earlier. It's an anime streaming website. Watch a lot of anime on the website in China. And also, if I'm not wrong, broadcast the LPL. It was pretty cool.
Usually casting that day.
Really?
But it is super cool that they can do that. Of course, a lot of support for BLG. The organization has supported the team and the players very well. We mentioned the posters that they make. Their posters are absolutely sick. That's something you should check out at any time if you can. And if you can't, then I'll just put them on Twitter anyway after.
They've got a lot of fans that travel out to the arena in Hangzhou. About an hour and a half train trip away from Shanghai. It's known as a tourist destination. It's very pretty, very tranquil.
Absolutely.
That's where LGD's arena is.
That's not too far away from BLG's home arena, as they have named it as well. Of course, the Shanghai arena is where BLG situate themselves. LGD live in Hangzhou, like you alluded to.
Not too far at all, and they're traveling down there to try and pick up a victory to end the first. I can't do words. First regular conference round robin. Words are difficult because we're going into game number 3 of our first best of 3 of today. Big comeback coming up from BLG in game 2 has brought us to this situation. LGD desperately trying to find a win before the break during Rift Rivals. Let's see if they can close out this match. Round 3, let's go. I swear, Rusty, it's all the massage chairs in the LGD arena. Just makes it,
I mean, that arena is great.
a bit slower. It is a great
The
arena.
arena is absolutely sick. It makes up for it tenfold with how cool it is. They're not just massage chairs, they spell LGD and they're comfy chairs.
That's true.
Road also getting a freeze to start this game off. Well, not a freeze. I keep calling it a freeze. He wants to force a freeze by making the minions stack up on each other and target a single minion. They are currently... The minions work in a way where they'll prioritize individual minions. They'll hit each other equally so that no lane pushes by default. But if you take the aggro, it resets them. And then they can gang up on other minions and call them bad names.
Like
and then they
what?
die from the bad names they're called.
What bad names
I
are
can't
the
speak
minions?
minion, dude.
What do you... So how do you know they're saying...
Body language says a lot. They're hitting each other.
Look, you don't have to... You don't see boxers punch each other while every time they throw a jab saying, "You muppet, come here, you peanut."
But
They just throw the punches, Rusty.
I do hear boxers call each other bad names.
Yeah, that's after they, you know, when they stop, they have a little break in between the action, start yelling.
This is a magical realm, fish.
No, it's not. League of Legends is real life. We are in the magical realm that is not reality. That is reality on the screen.
You're way too much to me right now.
That is not true. I am just about proportionate for what I am. But you're right. There was a small freeze being initiated in the bottom lane. It's pushing back slowly in BLG's favor. Sinja started on the red side of his jungle. Didn't get any leash from the members of BLG. Just knocked him, went through his red side straight towards the top lane, taking Scuttle Crab as he went along. Chiefs is actually looking to see if he can move into the bottom lane. This is probably why they set up for that slight freeze.
Yeah, Nocturne loves to hit level 6 first, or always prioritize a full clear if he can. Does sometimes go for that double buff gank if he can find one successfully. But for the most part, Zhao is the one who wants the fight, wants the skirmishes, and wants the Scuttle Crabs. Doesn't quite hit the mark there, and you don't want that. You want to let that go.
Why do you want to let that go?
Well, because there was a Xin Zhao just around the back corner that was going to find him and absolutely flog him. He has to back away.
But she does.
The bump.
Fine in bottom lane though. Drain coming out from PYL. This road takes a large chunk of damage. No summoner spells being thrown. PYL throws out the Dark Wind. None of his crows connect on the champions.
The worst RNG as well, that poor Fiddlesticks. PYL on Fiddlesticks is a unique breed. We have seen some pretty good games from him. We've seen some really upsetting ones from him, particularly on this champion. Because PYL's the kind of player that likes to play around vision and vision denial, but he also makes aggressive roams and leaves his lane for extended periods of time. And he's done that on Fiddlesticks in a very disheartening way.
Oh, he got one. Hit Jinja once.
Feels bad.
It feels bad sometimes, but he can make great plays on the Fiddlesticks, as you mentioned. It's a big spag. Quite literally. We did get to check it with the Poppy, so if you saw the Keystone runes and the runes being picked up by Amazing J, that's what he's running, especially Biscuit as well as the Tonic.
Yeah, Biscuit
to go up against Jace. This is a matchup we saw as a meta matchup a long time ago when Poppy first got reworked.
16 Worlds?
And it used to just be Jace would get ahead by about 40 odd CS, but no one would die. And then late game would hit Poppy be like, well, I'm a tank, what's up?
Yeah, 2016 Worlds, I believe, was the time we saw that one. I remember most Poppies were LPL players that were just hard losing lanes.
Whereas Amazing J doesn't care. He's actually taking it to Jin, who flashes forward. force the flash out of Jace.
Oh, how the matchup has shifted with the runes that have changed. He's doing a lot of work there, Amazing J, pressuring Jinnu on the Jace. Things that may not have been able to happen in times of past.
Good start coming up for BLG's top lane. Amazing J's had a solid performance all round.
Mole has been controlling this mid lane as well too, pushing out constantly on Yuki. Bottom lane's the only one that's being pressured. That's what happens with a Swain and a Fiddlesticks that can just hard push with their spells. Because that's not exactly the way that you operate with that spell.
UAL, hello? Train as well, keeping Fiddlesticks topped up in lane. There's a rotation coming out from Chieftain, but doesn't run straight in, so he can't go for the gank against Jinnu.
Great look in though.
Safe.
You know, with no flashes on the top lane, it's a great opportunity to try and find that gank. Of course, tragically doesn't, but...
Just a bit of loose steel, that's all. Fantastic look, by the way. Still waiting for Magnum. Chieftain's actually trying to see if he can get a gank going in the mid lane. He steps out of the bush for a second and really says, I see you. Hello. What you doing here?
Gives him the hello, boys. Oh, Jesus. Zoe's got some wonky interactions as well, man, that champion. Mole is also an expert on the Zoe. We saw some good stuff from Yuki in games 1 and 2 individually, but remember the Mole, he did it first.
Playing well, and there's a gank coming to mid lane. Meanwhile, First Blood's in the bottom lane. Zoe actually going to fall. It will be Aurelia getting very low. Ninja looking for a flash, and one gets away!
Oh,
Snipe from downtown, that's a 3! LGD get 3 kills to start the match.
Great rotation from Jinnu, and meanwhile in the bottom lane, like you mentioned, Jin Zhao has died. He's making some unfortunate decisions down there. It wasn't even level 6 from POL and Y4. Everything just goes well for LGD in the early game again. It begins once more.
Exactly the same as the past 2 matches. This is the kill we missed. POL flashing forward for the fear. Jin Zhao, take it down. That's what you want to see out of your Fiddlesticks.
It starts with a binding from Road that hits onto Y4. That is thought they had enough damage, or at least to chunk him out. But how quickly things can turn around. That's the thing with Fiddles. It's a point-and-click crowd control spell. There's nothing you can do to stop that from hitting unless you've got the Black Shield available. Didn't hit the mark.
Nope. And eventually, Fiddlesticks can hit level 6, and you can see Fiddle in the middle. And not just yet, still in the bottom lane.
We've said one thing about Road on Morgana. That was my one concern.
She doesn't press the Black Shield fast enough, but everything else is great.
It's not that he doesn't press it fast enough, he just doesn't use it properly.
Okay.
Because there's also times where he'll shield himself when it should be on an ally. But like the rest of him on Morgana is fantastic. You know, he'll hit the bindings, he'll win the game for his team. But geez, that spell shield is just... That's the hardest button of all, it seems.
It seems like the most important as well as the support.
Which is, it's just tragic because he's such a good player that has such amazing moments. But at the same time, you know, there's those points where you're like, what happened? And this is just one of those.
Maybe he should bind his Black Shield to T and just make it so that when I press T, if Jin Zhao's in range, he gets the Black Shield. Done.
The Soraka effect.
The Soraka effect.
On SMLZ.
I bind it to T, press T if SMLZ's in range, he gets a heal.
Doesn't want this. It looks like Amy has got the ultimate available too, so Chieftain just able to pressure forwards, utilize the Zoe. Amy's still hunting, however, for some prey. I think mid lane's definitely still a place to look, but with the way the bottom is snowballed, with the way that summoner spells have been used down there, Amy would like his odds in that bottom lane.
Starting strong. Amy is looking for the bottom lane, as you mentioned. Good odds, but can he find access into the bottom lane? Still difficult. PYL's actually clearing out wards that are closer in the river, so doesn't care too much about it, but getting closer is still...
Fiddlesticks can hold over that wall. It is spooky Fiddles. I think it's the ultimate skin, by the way.
No.
I know Surprise Party's good.
Surprise Party's good. It's the Pirate Fiddlesticks is where it's at.
Yeah. What's it called? Fiddle Me Timbers?
Yeah.
It should be called that if it isn't.
I can't remember. Something like that. There is a pun to do with Timber. Riley gets put to sleep, but Yuki dashes back away. Or the Bendito Fiddlesticks. That's nice as well.
Oh, that is good. I don't think anything beats the ultimate animation of Surprise Party, because you're just really tempted to yell surprise every time.
True.
One of the best skins, I reckon, in the game.
Then I just get distracted when I'm casting games. All I want to say is surprise, happy birthday. Then people get mad at me.
I used to do that.
Hey, it was your birthday a couple of days ago. Happy birthday, Rusty.
Oh, Jesus. That was a couple days ago, bro.
It was.
Thank you, though.
We got you a cake last night.
You did.
It was a cheesecake.
Was it, though? Was that cheesecake?
We had a few people.
Not a cheesecake.
We had a few people over for dinner last night because we had Rusty's birthday celebration, but we didn't get to actually eat as a team because people were busy. So we had a few people over for dinner. We got him a cake. We bought a cheesecake. We don't know if it was a cheesecake though.
That was whipped cream.
That was apparently a whipped cream cake.
Never in my life. It was still alright.
It said Oreo. I know that it was Oreo because the first word for Oreo is the same as the first word for Australia in Mandarin. So I was like, okay, that's an Oreo cheesecake. We're good. There were Oreos in it. Unfortunately, whipped cream. Yes, but please wish happy birthday to Rusty in the chat.
You know, just like that cake. You know, you can dream for things when you watch LGD play. You know he's going to get what you wish for.
Well, I'm being told that in China by our producer, I'm being told that in China there are cakes that are made for throwing where you can scoop up pieces of it and throw it. So that's probably what we got you. There's still a bit more in the fridge, so when we get home later I can throw cake at Rusty, which is going to be great. But they're trying to throw a couple of pies at Juno. Knockup comes in, Jinjiao dashes forward, and there goes the Jace. BLG fight back for a pick.
Oh, it's refreshing to see BLG actually make the early moves. They lane swap first, and they try and make the plays. Top lane has been so back and forth between Amazing J and Jinu that seeing a shift up here, it's not even a jungler's attendance, it's the rest of the map that comes up. They get the kills, they'll get the turret. Question is, will it be first? We haven't seen bottom's health. I know it's been pretty chunked out.
Well, Road came back in for a couple of auto attacks and actually shares the local turret goal, but it's not too much.
Yeah,
not too bad.
Amy may have been able to go bottom. You know, Amy may have been able to assist in the killing of that turret. They wanted to rush for the first blood, but he goes for the Drake, gets the much earlier Drake decision. Chieftain, however, was also on the rotate and gets the Herald extremely fast. So I think that's just a win overall for BLG.
Yep.
And they got the kill on top of it.
I mean, they've got a Herald, so they could potentially set it up for another turret to forward. Maybe even mid lane turret. Mole's been pressuring Yuki quite well.
As Fiddlesticks, for those of you that don't know, it's not always about standing still like a scarecrow, but stopping moving for a small amount of time is very important to get the move speed. Get that ultimate off as well.
Amy's been caught out here though. Chieftain doing a lot of damage, gets put to sleep, but there you go. Fiddlesticks over the wall. He's in the middle, put to sleep once again. Amy gonna try and dodge it. Not gonna happen. Rhodes great with those dark bindings. The rest of BLG, however, in trouble. FLICKR gonna try and flash forward. No fear coming out of Fiddlesticks, but stun goes through. Lockdown comes out from another move, and PYL pops into Demonic Ascension. More kills being picked up by LGD.
The 2-for-1 trade end result here for LGD, but also the inside track to the middle lane. If they want to start pressuring the turrets down, they absolutely can. The map is their oyster if they're able to keep winning these team fights, and PYL starting to really warm up in this third game.
He is 3 assists to his name already on Fiddlesticks. Y4 doing well on the Swain as well, and LGD starting strong in game number 3. But are they going to have a 1-1 game or a 2-2 game in this match? Because it's not looking too good with Road going for the initiation. Stopwatch being used, double teleports into the mid lane. Chieftain still dashing forward, but taking so much damage. Dark bindings on Fiddlesticks, really low. Jinjiao jumps in, gets one, there's the double! Amazing J still chasing down Juno, knocks him backwards, and BLG get a couple of picks.
Kills over to Jinjiao. Chieftain may fall down, but the Otis now belongs to BLG, and there's only one teleport there on the LGD side, but the wave will still get cleared. There doesn't look like anything massive will amount from these kills, but a lot more action in this game. Just a lot more happening in general.
A lot of actual, I can't do words. Words are so difficult.
Thankfully,
Thank goodness I don't do it for a job. Well, there's the replay of that last fight. BLG reckon they could take it. They lose Chieftain in the end. But good players, they get 2.
Yeah, PYL is trying to drain Chieftain's health bar. Chieftain does go down, but Road gets the free binding. And Fiddlesticks was a free trade because he'd already used that stopwatch. So BLG, they're able to come out on top with that one. Teleports have always been good from Amazing J.
Yes. We've always complimented him about that. I know Frostgren speaks highly of his teleports. I mean, come on.
He's always been able to find deep flank wards, and I think we should speak beyond just the teleport itself. It's the coordination with his team for the teleport location and positioning that they do incredibly well.
Free turret to LGD while we talk about that, and we don't even have to go to crazy matches. Like, we often refer to their miracle run for Worlds, but Look at this set alone. Game 1, that Darius teleport was great.
And it was
Found
early.
a good flank. Very early teleport. Flash to make the play work too, getting the double pullback. We've got some serious music in the background right now in the Shanghai Arena. I can feel the floor shaking.
There are some dubs and wubs. And more wubs.
Dubstep is amazing. Oh no, Mole taking quite a bit of damage. Portal jumps into a stopwatch. LG trying to push further, forcing the flash out of Mole. Stopwatch being used by Chieftain. Even Amy going a little bit golden for a second, but looking for the rest of this fight. Eye of Sauron to the back lines. PYL, Crows. Oh, so close.
He was on target too. Jinu just doesn't get it. They don't get the kill.
But just like the match between Germany and Mexico, 25 shots on, none going into the goal. Jinu can't actually get the snipe at the end. But team fight still going in favor of LGD.
Yeah, Jinu unfortunately doesn't find the mark. Chieftain still dies, however, and they get that initial pick. LGD with better vision control, with better decision making on these picks. The question has never been about if they can get the pick. It's about can they get the objective. And so far, the answer has been a resounding yes. That was timing out, so he had to throw it.
It's in the bottom lane, so they can get something from it better than nothing. At least a charge into that bottom lane outer, but they're moving down towards it. BLG lose another turret. And now LG being aggressive in these fights, picking fights in BLG's territory. They look as good as it did in game 1 and 2. BLG are fighting back, but
just walked up and slapped a cannon away from Jin Jiao.
Chieftain's like,
Chieftain's doing the gromp next to him. You asshole. You can't just...
Why are you so triggered by this? You're a support mate. You don't get gold anyway.
It was just so funny.
Chelly gets a charge as well. BLG taking full advantage of this, so it might be a timed out Herald, but they still make their way down to the bottom lane. Get a bit of damage on this.
Whoa.
They lock down PYL. They send a minion to sleep, however.
The composition of BLG will be super strong if they can get a siege going. They have the Kaiser W poke with a Zoe poke. Always a possibility. Amazing J's got really, really strong disengage. So they can perhaps just sit, place themselves in a lane, and throw spells at their opponents until a pick happens or health bars get whittled down enough. That's what you'd be looking at if you were BLG. However, executing that against a Nocturne Fiddlesticks. We've seen EDG play a similar style of composition. You know full well that the game plan is get PYL's ultimate off, turn out the lights, and try and catch them.
I mean, Jinu can do the same thing with his own poke. So curious to see if LGD have the same mentality. Let's sit back, let's throw out Shock Blast combos. And see if we can poke away at BLG's health bars too. Fairly squishy squad besides Amazing J's Poppy.
You know, I don't think that... Oh no, he's going to get one hit.
Good guy, Yuki. Stands
Actually
right in front of the combo.
Yeah, big fan.
Good bloke. That's when you spam 666 in your chat as a teammate. Like, good guy, like you.
Does a lot of work and actually enables LGD to get themselves 2 turrets free. BLG, once again, unable to mount a defense. And there is some legitimacy into the reasoning why this time. There's a lot of poke damage out of Jinu specifically.
Yep.
Able to do a lot of work. So they get the turrets. No contest. The gold lead grows.
Big pickup, 5,000 gold for LGD. I'm not going to praise them too heavily because I'm already very upset by the loss that I caused them in the last match by praising them too hard. But Yuki is on Irelia, a champion that at the start of this show we praised him so much for because he has great KDA on it. Showing here again 3-0-3, even blocking the combo coming up from ball against PYL, just holistically playing well, and it's just good on this champion.
Yeah, it certainly is. Of course, that's one of the biggest risks we said at the start of the set. Give him Aurelia, watch him carry the game. At the same time, there's a couple of other interesting ones thrown into the composition here from LGD. You know, the Jace being the last pick does scale off a little bit, especially when you go towards the lethality builds. They're against the AD carry, so the same recipe is in place in this game. They have a couple of better tools to close it out.
You see immediately Road is unhappy with his Black Shield trigger finger. He's going immediately for the Mikhail's Crucible, something I haven't seen since the Ardent Saucy days.
No one's going to understand what you mean.
Ardent Sensor, when Ardent Sensor was very heavily in meta, we had a lot of Michaela's Crucible as well.
OPL memes in 2018.
Protecting a lot of AD carries. You take that back. OPL is a great region. I think they're solid second after
Actually,
the LPL.
Just purely said a fact, and I don't want to have to take anything back. I said OPL memes in 2018. I'll take that back. My bad. Like, what am I taking back, Fish?
You're passive aggressive. This is not nice.
That was not. I would have been.
You're
much more
Australian.
aggressive.
I understand a bit of Australian. Quite a bit.
I love the OPL. Lovely personalities.
I love the dog they have on the show. Bailey is great.
Just not lovely results.
Can we get
there
a dog?
There we go. I got it out.
Can we get a dog on the LPL? Oh, we have a couple predicting for us.
Okay, every week we've found a dog, Fish. We've had Wang Kai from BLG, known as Rich, because he wants to bring prosperity to the team. Which is kind of funny in this game. It's just we've had EDG's dog Nice do a prediction, as well. I will say that BLG's dog got the prediction correct, where EDG's dog did not. He went for WE, never bet on WE, is what I've just learned from EDG's dog. And tonight, we have a cat.
What?
That's all I'm saying.
It's not okay. I'm on all day today. I don't get a break.
It's not the support of TOP.
I'm allergic to cats. This is not okay. We can't have him here.
You said you can understand a bit of Australian, so toughen up. How's that one?
Yeah, have a spoonful of concrete, okay?
Cement.
Concrete.
You can't.
Tablespoon. Ooh, Mole getting caught out. Fear comes through. Nocturne jumps in as well. Locked down. Portal jump too deep. Immediately, LGD capitalized.
You're going forward.
Yuki's not done yet. Fantastic double stun, but he can't get through the base gates. BLG disengaged, but they lost their member. Amazing J, what are you doing all the way back here? Tries to knock one back. Only gets the Jace. Now he's stuck between a Jace and four members of LGD, who just moved straight in towards BLG's base. The support is going to fall. BLG lose two of their members, and LGD find a pick.
Yeah, Road dies. He's gone for the Mikhail's Crucible on the Morgana. I'm sure we'll get to that a little bit later. LGD, they get the picks. They get the inhibitor as well. Things looking much better for them. Yuki on that Aurelia has done so much. And they're still looking. Will they start the Baron is the question as old as time itself.
Oh, no.
The answer looks like one of the most solid no-boys.
Why did Chief turn around? He saw them both there. Now he's getting doped by the start. Amy taking a lot of damage. And Black Kaiser, oh no! Oh no, yet to see it. Guardian Angel gets popped. Rest of BLG looking to try to capitalize. Puddle Star goes through, but we don't watch that. We watch that Crow Storm on top of Amazing J. The poor Poppy. Mole pulls one back for a seam. Picks up a flash. Can get away if he needs to. But LG don't go towards Baron. They get a pick, and now they move towards turret. PYL in some trouble. They try to jump onto Mole. Double dash for Yuki. Gets the kill. And they're just getting everyone. Come back here, Jinjiao. Road, you're next. Get back to that respawn chamber. Let's turn your grey screen on once more. Double kill for Yuki.
Yeah, they'll get the kills. LGD with everyone dead now, just Chief than alive, and he was the one who started it off by dying. They'll push forward. 2 inhibs gone, and maybe they keep going.
10,000 gold lead, and Chieftain stuck underneath his own Nexus. You hate to see it. LGD have done it though. Game number 2 was shaky. They couldn't kill the big purple worm, and you know what to say? We don't need him. We don't need that Baron buff. We'll prove it to you in game 3 as they get their first win of summer, taking out BLG.
They get the win. They get to take down BLG, and they get to swap the spot on the standings with them as well. Now they own the head-to-head. Both teams 1 and 5, but LGD get to sit 6th, not 7th. That's the victory that you'll take from this set. That's all that matters from this set. There's still a lot of issues to iron out here for both of these teams. The crinkle's still well and truly there.
Well, as much as we criticize Bilibili Gaming for the bits and pieces of their poor performance, their fall from a good start of Summer Split, even though they were able to make the comeback against LGD in Game 2, it just felt like besides being able to take Baron, so much about LGD has improved, and it was great to watch them play a good set of League of Legends. We're going to ignore Game 2. We're just ignoring Game 2 never happened. I am deleting the VOD from the YouTube page.
It's good for LGD to get a bow in front of their home arena as well. Note that they're in Hangzhou. They've gone 0-5 so far, so their first victory. The loyal fans that came out to see them today against BLG are rewarded with that victory. And for better or worse, it's still a win. Still a W.
A W?
A W.
Okay. That made no
The letter of the alphabet. It's still a W, short for a win.
It's a W.
They still got one.
Not a WR. That's some foreign word that I've...
You're an absolute buffhead. You need to just move on.
That is not true.
It's just the letter. You know what? Fine. So I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
We'll just move past it.
Rusty doesn't want to talk about it, so we won't. But LG do pick up a victory in their home arena. This time, finishing what they started in Game 2. They get to the 11,000 goal lead, but they don't allow BLG the opportunity to come back. Successfully finding picks around Baron without taking it.
There's a couple of things to take away from this game as well, and one of them we knew at the start of the day. We came in, we were like, Yuki on Aurelia is the win condition of LGD. For the 3 times that they had won before today, on all 3 of those games, he was Aurelia. He had 11.7 KDA.
That's going up.
That's only improved from this.
7-0-5 in this set.
Because they only gave him Aurelia in the 3rd game. Big mistake from BLG, something that'll come back to haunt them no less. But even past that, we looked at the 2nd phase of bans. They get rid of a bunch of tanks. They don't get rid of the Fiddlesticks or the Rakan. They give over the Fiddlesticks. They die in the 2v2 lane, the opposite of what you would expect from a Morgana and a Kaiser. Things did not go too well for them ultimately here, BLG.
Oh, I almost threw to a break immediately right there. Seems like we can't have the segment fast enough. But both BLG as well as LG now have time to reset. None of the teams made it into Rift Rivals, so they will have a little bit of a break before going to cross-conference.
Yeah.
It's their time really to iron out these flaws and weaknesses in their strategy, almost.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the case. I think, like, with this time, I would hope to see it. And when you think towards Spring Split, there was Chinese New Year at, like, week 4 or 3. And during that time, a lot of teams came back and looked better. That was the start of the BLG run, actually.
Yep.
From that point onwards, where they started to find victories and then ramped up really hard later into the split. For LGD, I actually think this is a great opportunity for them, a great time for them to really find themselves. And we're seeing good things from them. If you think towards the 1st game, if you think towards most of the 2nd game, and how quickly they're able to close out and their early game strength in the 3rd, they're improving. They're absolutely improving. And now they've got weeks off. They've got time to improve on that even further.
Plenty of time, and I'm really excited to watch that because just the addition of people like Y4 in the bottom lane has already been such a massive improvement. Yes, Imp leaving the squad, moving over to WE is theoretically a big loss to them, but them being able to play around new strategies, new players who bring different values to the team is great to see. But aside of BLG, I'm really looking to see how they solidify the duos that they have, because we saw Menhua and Athena start for the squad, Mole and Chief come in, and I didn't really see much of a difference between these two playing. There wasn't too much of a stylistic difference, which is not what you want to see when you have this synergy and swap available.
The team didn't change a lot around the substitutes coming in either. You know, in the 1st game, we saw some good things from Menhua and some okay things from Athena, but he was on a Galio, never really got a chance to shine. Coming to the 2nd game, it looked okay from the mid-jungle duo again, but as you mentioned, probably equal to what it was in the 1st in terms of impact that they had on the map. LGD won through mid-jungle most of the time. Throughout pretty much the entire set, they won through mid-jungle strength in the early game. And mid-jungle is the duo that swaps for BLG, so it is pretty unfortunate. It's very saddening for BLG to be swapping that duo, having watched the 1st game as well, to understand your opponents and still lose to it.
I keep it this play right here, level 6, that's Nocturne's time to go for a gank in the mid lane. BLG will try to be there first, but LGD just executed a lot better in that situation, so it didn't look too good for them with their mid-jungle synergy. And on top of that, if you're looking even further into the future, into internationals potentially, that's where you only have one substitute at the moment. If you're looking towards a mid-jungle duo, eventually you have to settle for one, but now their eyes should still be on LPL finals, trying to get as high up in the ranks as possible.
Look, I'll be the first to say that I think international should be 7 people. I actually don't know why it's 1 sub when teams can have an active moving roster. RNG is my best example of that. They had subs that they couldn't take and they still won. And we all still think that the subs were potentially an upgrade. They just had to choose. So these things I think should exist, but that's a separate conversation to what BLG are doing. I do think that BLG should work out what the best is for them, absolutely. I think they should continue to experiment or start if they don't know who it is, because they are 1-5 right now. And really, they're not looking at internationals. They're looking at making the playoffs in the LPL first and foremost, as their priorities need to shift.
Yeah, but Yuki was able to pick up MVP for that match. For the side of LGD, makes sense. 7-0-5 on Aurelia, had a fantastic performance in the mid lane. capitalize on the weak synergy that we saw from BLG, a little bit unorthodox after their early start again, but we can't take it away from him. This man has looked so good on Aurelia. 4 MVP performances for LGD, 3 of them on this champion.
Yeah, he's an absolute monster on Aurelia, honestly, and it should continue to be banned away from him moving into forthcoming sets. It doesn't matter if they're 6th or 7th in the standings. The one thing the LPL has got for itself is the raw strength of the individuals. The individual talent is massive in our league, and this is the best example of it. Yuki has really started to shine this split for LGD, and him on Aurelia starting to become a one-trick, but he showed that even today, he has the Zoe.
Still has Zoe.
He's got some other things there.
Still has Zoe if he needs to pick it up. Curious to see how his champion pool changes. I mean, there was a big change to the meta as well. So a couple of players have been patched in, a few people have been patched out, and teams are still trying to adapt to this. And I think LGD have done a good job so far, just they really need to iron out the problems they've been having.
I mean, BLG have got bigger problems right now than LGD, I think. But for LGD, credit to them, they got the victory, so the fans can be happy about that fact, thankfully, after the second game.
But that was just the first set that we had here today. There's still 2 more sets to be played. One that's going to be played here in the Shanghai Arena in 13 minutes. So that's the break that we're going to take. Pop a health pot, go find a Heart of Gold or a Philosopher's Stone, and we'll be right back with that set in just a bit.
相信这支年轻气盛的京东，相信过程。